I'm Ellie. I'm an engineer. I've been in the tech space for about 10 years, just really passionate about helping teams ship software they can actually trust, which is getting a little bit harder in agentic engineering world. But we're working on some tools to help and collaborating with a lot of cool folks. But one of the things that I've been doing is loading a bunch of open source repositories into our product just to kind of generate documentation, see how these open source projects are evolving over time, especially as all the different teams are adopting agentic engineering. Today, I loaded in the Backstage repository. So I'll link to this, but Backstage is open source for building developer portals. On their site, they have some cool examples you can flip through, but they are very cool. I've been following them for a while. I forked their repository into my own personal GitHub, so I'm not obviously touching any of their code. Let's jump in to Gjalla here. So this is an overview that will show how the system has changed over time. So how the architecture, data model, data flows, all of that has evolved. Since I only forked this recently and there's only one change analysis so far, we only see one dot over here, but that will fill up as we go. So let's hop into the application architecture. This is personally one of my favorite ways to get familiar with a new code base, is just look at pictures of it. In this one, from a high level, we see the API server, which houses all the backend services. It looks like Node.js with an Express backend. Okay, a catalog database. This is the admin and the developers. What's down here? So we see the front end application is React based. It looks like it processes all these different data entities, which makes sense. We can also see what files are relevant. I'm going to ignore some of those details for right now. There's a search index. Oh, I bet that's really helpful, just being able to find the things that you need in the portal. And then Kubernetes, Git repos. That makes sense for an internal developer portal. More database identity and web server. Okay, that's cool. Let's zoom in now a little bit, see if we can get some more info. So backend services, we have a catalog service, plugin service. That's interesting. Enabling extensibility through discoverable plugins and API factories. Okay, what else? We have scaffolder for software templates. That's cool. Authentication, TechDocs. Love docs. That's cool. Okay, so it's make docs with a Git integration, search service. Okay, all of that makes sense. I'm going to zoom in one more. So then within each of these, we can actually see the details too. So catalog service has entity processor, API controller, big loader. That makes sense because each plugin is going to have its own configuration in the system. Okay, what else is interesting? I think the scaffolder service is really interesting. There's a template engine, Jinja 2 templating. Okay, I haven't worked too much with Jinja, but I've heard of that and kind of seen it around on other open source projects before. That's cool. Okay, and then maybe I'll just take a look. Maybe code structure would be interesting. Close this. There's the packages directory, the fundamental building blocks, plugins for the plugin ecosystem. We saw that in the architecture diagrams, documentation. Okay, all the config stuff, quality and testing. Key architectural patterns. So it's a monorepo with plugins, packages scoped to the Backstage namespace. That's helpful. Development workflow, everything is CLI-driven. That's nice. They've got a lot of developer users. Hot reloading, love that. And then just a few notable features. Let's jump in to the functional outline. So I haven't myself used Backstage, so this will be interesting, just seeing what features are in there. A software catalog of all the APIs, libraries, etc. This is really helpful. A lot of teams, have their own internal APIs and you integrate with other services in your company, but it's sometimes hard to keep things aligned. TechDocs, templates. I just really love this idea of templates. I know I've highlighted it like 3 times now, but I think that's really cool. Plugin ecosystem, API docs, Kubernetes, CI/CD. I won't go through all of these, but key user journeys, project creation templates, documentation publishing, business rules and constraints. Let's see. So there are some different integration points, data validation, JSON schema validation, access control. There's admin features, acceptance criteria for core features. Cool, that has a lot in there. That's cool. Okay, so that was a super high level walkthrough of the Backstage open source repository. I'll link to all of this since it's open source. I just have these links open for you guys. Let me know if it's helpful to keep doing more of these walkthroughs. Every open source repo that we do an architecture walkthrough, I post publicly, so that can be available for everyone to kind of sift through. Just want to make it easier for folks to kind of understand and contribute, especially in the open source community. So I'll post that for you with all the links below, and let me know what repo you guys want to see next.